What's good, y'all? I'm Robert D. Williams. I'm with the Block Paper Weekly. This is Culture Chronicles, and tonight we're at Unruly. They're having a unbirthday party, but it's a special theme. It's all women, and it's nice. It's EDM, and for me, it's a culture shock. I've never been to electronic dance music themed anything, so it's definitely a culture shock for me, which is why this is Culture Chronicles. Hi, this is Miranda. She's a merchant here at Unbirthday Party. She got some pretty nice stuff, some cool hats too, and sew-ons, rings, all type of stuff. I'm gonna let her explain it.
Hi guys, my business is called Daydreamer Designs. I like to repurpose and hand make a bunch of items. I like to create different things so everybody can pick what they want and find something that they'd like when they come to a show or go to a festival.
Yeah, it's nice. There's some nice stuff. Her hat's like $15, a beanie. She just showed me one that was kind of cool. It was one of those, I think they call it like a fishing hat, or a bucket hat, maybe. Is it a bucket hat? Yeah. A bucket hat, and it's reversible. It's kind of cool, man. So yeah, whenever you see her, check her out. What's up? This is Shane. He's a merchant here down at Unruly also at the Unbirthday Party. He sells some cool stuff, as you can see, man. I went through a lot of it. I really like this picture, Snake Plissken, Escape from New York. I love that movie. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man, about the stuff that you sell, the stuff that you do.
For sure, man. We actually started as a podcast. It's called The Geekly Gab and the Nerdical Nonsense Show, and we go to cons and do Comic-Con coverage, talk to celebrities and stuff, and then we also set up booths like this where we just sell nerdy shit all over the place. Mostly the west side of Michigan, pardon me, but we do venture off even down to Ohio, Indiana sometimes. But yeah, it's basically Facebook.com/GeeklyGab231, GGNN231. That's our official URL that we basically go through our hub and everything. But yeah, we always bring out fun little nerdy things, both vintage, new, everything like that. Just I know there's like a nerd base when it comes to the EDM kids out here, so I get welcomed with open arms every time I'm here. So it's pretty awesome.
So do you basically just follow EDM shows, or is it certain events that you follow?
We do Comic-Cons mostly, but we also do card shows. Basically anywhere we're welcome, man. We'll come up, set up a booth, and hang out and get nerdy.
That's dope, man. Appreciate the support in the community and just the activity, man. It's cool to see people setting up shops and being a merchant and just peddling the things they love, man.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. Appreciate everything you do, man.
Yeah. What's up, man?
Nice to meet you.
All right, man. Nice to meet you, too. This is Lee, by the way. I just met him. It was the suit that attracted me, obviously. What's up with the suit, brother?
Not much. It's you can see Invader Zim. It's the robot dog Grrl.
The robot dog Grrl?
Yeah. I like cheese, man. I like tacos.
Okay, that's what's up. How often do you come to these birthday events?
This is only my second one, actually.
How you feeling it?
I like it. I'm a friend of Jay. He's the guy who runs this. Super cool guy, and this is the second time that it's been here as well. Super cool location for it too.
Yeah, what about the all-female setup that they got going on with the DJs?
I think that's cool, especially, I didn't know too much about it, but they're doing a donation for the women's place. I think that's super cool.
Oh yeah, I forgot. They're doing a tampon and some type of feminine hygiene donation for the rescue mission. Every woman's place, some type of donation spot. Man, I appreciate you, man, talking to us. Thank you.
No problem. That's what I'm here for. I hope you enjoy yourself.
Yep, you too, man. We Channel 1, man. We gonna post this on Facebook and YouTube, and you'll see it. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. No problem. Thank you. Have a great night, man.
You too. What's up, y'all? We here with another set of merchants. We still at the unbirthday party at Unruly.
Hi there, guys. My name's Logan Garcia, artist name Boy with Glass. I've been blowing glass for about 4 years now in the North Muskegon Twin Lake area. Mostly what I do is sculptural art, not a lot of functional pieces, mostly solid art, a lot of jewelry, a lot of pendants, earrings, stuff like that, beads, a lot of jewelry.
You usually follow these events?
Yeah, birthday party is a very usual event for me to be at. I'm a resident artist here. My buddies Jay and Joe, who run this event, are really, really close friends of mine. So I love to come out here and support these guys. I love to find events out in the West Michigan area. There's not a whole lot out here. So anytime I can come out here and support local, I love to be out here.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you too.
Again?
My name is Lily.
Her name is Lily, and she's another merchant here at the unbirthday party downtown Muskegon at Unruly, and she has beautiful earrings, and they nice.
I've been making earrings for 4 years. I donate some of my profits to Faithful to Felines, which is a cat shelter here in Muskegon, so I try to make earrings when I can.
They're definitely nice. You got some contact information for people to find you?
Yep, I have a business card, Mindset Earrings on Facebook, and I have a website as well. It's mindsetearrings.bigcartel.com.
Thank you. I appreciate you. We're here with Jay and John at Unruly at the unbirthday party, and they're going to tell you what it's all about.
Man, well, really, it all goes back to my boy's birthday. He wanted to throw a party for his birthday in the summer, and his birthday's in the fall, so you have an unbirthday. It's like celebrating yourself any day you want to. You get 364 unbirthdays, you get one birthday, you know, so we put together something. John came up with this idea of giving people a discount to come in, celebrate their birthday with us. We're, coming up on a decade? Decade. All because my boy wanted to throw a party for his birthday. But really at this point, we're like one of the longest tenured independent promoters for EDM in Michigan at this point. It's not like in our own venue, you know, we pop up everywhere. What do you think?
I think we've been doing it for years at this point. I mean, I don't know what to say other than the fact that, I mean, we keep people coming through the doors. We keep people happy, and we keep a safe environment for people to have fun, and that's the most important thing. 'Cause, I mean, there's lots of places you can go and you can have fun, and it can be a little sketchy. I mean, you're guaranteed to have a good time here.
Definition of party responsibly here.
Yes, no, please. And don't do anything foolish, and you won't get asked to leave. Have a good time, be respectful. That's what we bank on. Have a good time. Have fun.
We got a 2-day thing coming up. It's going to be this fall for our 10-year anniversary. I'll make sure to let Channel 1 know. Let you guys get on the exclusive on it, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll do some media together or something like that.
Definitely.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate y'all coming out wholeheartedly.
Thank you, man. And it was definitely safe. You know, I'm a little skeptical and sketchy about a lot of places.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
It was definitely safe, and I don't go out a lot, and I got a lot going on in my life, but I feel safe here, and it's safe to say that Unbirthday Party is a cemented event in the city of Muskegon.
Let's go.
Yeah. All
So
right.
I can tell you about the inspiration behind Bass Grrl.
Let's go.
So in 1990s, there was a movement in the punk scene for women, and it was basically about how there weren't any girl bands, and a lot of women just wanted to be at shows, but they didn't have anybody else there. They never saw any women on stage. The movement started with a zine, and it was named Riot Grrl. Basically, they put out all of these things to just inspire girls, get on stage, real life stories, and the main band behind the movement was Bikini Kill. Kurt Cobain was one of the huge supporters in Seattle, and I was really inspired by Riot Grrl growing up, and when I was thinking about as a woman DJ, and I'm sure you guys know this, like you get asked a lot to, hey, we're gonna throw a ladies' night DJ like set. Can you like play with us? Or there's a lot of people on Facebook. Can you tag some women DJs? Basically, it's like you can't be found, or somebody who knows somebody, and so I just wanted to have something where, like, hey, if you want to have all women lineup, you can come ask me and I'll find people. Or eventually, if they just see women on stage, they can learn, okay, how did you get into this? Because it is male dominated, and I learned from friends and, like, you know, going over to a guy's basement, if you don't know that, it's kind of weird as a woman. So, I mean, like, apparently I was okay with it. Don't recommend it because I may have gone wrong. But if there's more of us up there, it's less intimidating, right? And it just starts to become normal. At the beginning, I said I think like less than 3%, might be even 1.5% of women are in the music industry. 7% are just in EDM are artists, 5% are producers, but like half of the audience more than half the audience, it's like 58% are women. There's huge improvements with women on festivals. Like within the last 3 years, there's so many more women in EDM, which is really great, but it just still feels like, what's the word? Yeah, we need more. It still feels like, oh, look, a woman DJ. And another thing is, like, if you don't have a name like Charlotte's Web or Veronica Eileen or Polly, when people see my name on a flyer, they always assume I'm a man, because that's just like, if you see answers on a flyer, it doesn't really have any sort of gender. Yeah, it's not genderized in any way. But I want people to be able to look at a flyer and not assume that it's a man on it. And that was really hard because, like, the first show we did, I don't think anybody on our flyer had more of, like, a feminine name. And then every time I saw someone walk by, they're like, oh, I don't know these dudes. And I was like, I didn't want to be like, actually, those are women. Like, that would have been really, like, embarrassing. But I wanted to get to the point where in every local underground scene, you'll never have to, like, go find a woman DJ. Because when we throw local shows, there's, like, a ton of people. Like, you can put out a post, I'm throwing a show, and there'll be, like, 10 guys, maybe, like, one of us, commenting on the Facebook post, like, hey, I want to play. They'll be submitting all the time. But the fact that the promoter has to say, I'm looking for women DJs for this show, it's, like, so opposite. I never want there to be a struggle to find women around. I mean, it's even a struggle for us. Like, we kind of always have the same lineups, so we just want to figure out ways to, like, get more people into it. It is a big monetary investment. It's, you know, if you're surrounded by people who, like, you just don't really vibe with, I guess, learning to play EDM music, you almost always learn from other DJs. Like, that's how everybody gets better. You know that. I know you guys know that. And sometimes if it's like a group of guys, it's weird. I've been in bands with all men, and nobody ever means to treat you like the girl, but it kind of just happens naturally. And I've never been offended by it, but I got to a point where I left a band in Lansing and I came back to Kalamazoo, and I couldn't find a new band to be in because they basically said, yeah, we're not looking for a girl, and it was more of like they just didn't want there to be any, I don't even know. It's like they had a flow. They just didn't want to add somebody and really change the way they were behaving, which I don't really get. But anyway, I decided to start DJing, even though I knew nothing about EDM music, because I could be by myself, I could work with people if I wanted to, and I knew one DJ in Kalamazoo, and that's kind of like all you need, but the biggest thing is just being able to like be a part of a community is really what gets you. And sometimes it's hard if you're the only girl in the community. I know that there was a girl who, I actually don't know what happened to her. She was DJing, and her boyfriend was the one who actually taught her to DJ, but then they broke up, and nobody in town would put her on a show because he was friends with like all the promoters.
She got blacklisted.
For like no reason. I don't think she DJs anymore, and like that's a fucking bummer. Sorry.
It's okay.
It was the first slip up. I've been rambling. Does anybody else? Thank you. I feel validated. Thank you.
Well, I'm new to EDM, and this is Culture Chronicles, so I'm curious to know, like, what do you be thinking about when you be playing your set or creating it? Like, is this something that you think about? Do you make it, create it, write it before?
So, like, thinking, I don't know if that would be the word that I use for it. It's more of just like a flow. So, like, thinking kind of just happens on its own without you thinking about it, if that makes sense.
It's like you do it, so I know what you're talking about, like flow state, you do it enough that the whole action becomes, it's like muscle memory when you're playing a guitar. Most people can improvise with a guitar because they've played it so much. So it's like when you're in the moment, you just start to think ahead without even realizing it.
I think everyone's a little different too. Like everyone goes towards their sets and preps for their sets differently.
Yeah.
Like
so Veronica's a producer, so
yeah. So
she's got to make sure.
I'm a sound designer and vocalist and also singer-songwriter. So like going into my sets, I like to curate a vibe that can like immerse them into my world and bring them into my story, and also leave the show with something or feeling something at least.
Yeah.
So like you might start with something small, like especially if you're just beginning, like start with an intro, like submerge them from the beginning, and even start with an outro and just like leave them ending wanting more kind of thing. Like everyone's different. Everyone goes from it. I think what matters too is like we support our friends and play out mixes that our friends make, especially when it's like feminine or even masculine. Doesn't matter the gender. Like I feel like it's just friends supporting friends, and that's what really matters at the end too.
Yeah. So usually when you book a show, they'll always hire people that kind of match the headliner in some way or break up the night. I call myself the super oddball because like I'm not like a lot of the people around me, so I always get put on first. But it's like with all of us, we all play different music, and we have some in like the Bass Grrl like greater community that play house and trance, and so at all these shows it's going to be a really different lineup because we're not going towards like one genre, and that's like one of the things that we all have to prepare differently, especially Veronica. She's using the microphone and singing, she's got to know what point that she needs to be ready for that. I want to talk to you about, can you explain the difference between like what a remix is when you're in EDM?
So I take a lot of high pass filter and lyrics and put that with deep dub and bass, and it just makes some nasty mashups. But I practice all the time, but my set is always different when I play.
So that takes a lot of work though.
Yeah, I put my songs together about a week ago, and then I go over it again, and then I record a set, and I see how I listen to it like 10 times to see, I try to remember the mashups, but it's always different every time.
Yeah, that's like one thing is when you're starting, when I started, like I would plan every single second of a set because playing an instrument, that's what you did. Like you needed to be have it muscle memory. But you get to a point where you just start to realize that you've been listening to enough music in general, not just EDM, that you like understand the structure. So even if you mess up, you hear other options.
It's a lot about the waveform, and you can tell when you need to change the song. So, like, even if you don't know the track that's coming up, you can tell if it's going to be lyrical or heavy beats. Like, it changes. So,
Yeah.
it's really easy to tell that way too.
It's digital format. So originally DJ was vinyls. So like you would have a crate of vinyls, and there'd be someone handing you records, and basically like in the middle of your set, you're looking at the crowd deciding what's next. Oh, by the way, like all EDM came from Black culture. Just want to say that right now. Hip hop, house, like all of that was Black founded. And vinyls, like you are having a flow, but you're using already created songs, and we do that too. But instead of having like physical pieces, everything is basically curated on the computer, like your laptop. And then it's composed into like a USB that then gets read by whatever equipment you're using. So essentially, it's kind of like you're playing off a computer. I think the only thing that's the same is that there's like tempo. There's tempo knobs, just like on vinyl decks, and there's the platters. But it's the amount of technology that's in EDM and like even hip hop and pop, all these, it's the subgenres just skyrocket, because the only thing that determines like how much new music and how different subgenres form is what technology is available and what are people doing with it.
So like I feel like there's multiple different ways of like DJing too, because like there is USB way and then like also controller way, but some people can bring a live performance into it and bring like
what a controller is.
So a controller is basically like you either hook up your PC or your computer or your USB to the soundboard, and it can push out those MP3s that you download or waves, whatever.
It uses a computer though rather than just.
Are
The computer's not in.
you talking about the DJ controller? Or
Yeah, the controller. The computer's not in it's the laptop that you're using, right?
Yes. So like the DJ controller can either use a laptop or USB. So it's playing out the waves that you have downloaded on your USB, and then it has like low pass, high pass, mid pass, and it also has effects on it. So you can like we're mixing that shit live. So like we're not just pre-recorded. It's like
That was another one of my questions. Was it pre-recorded or was it like freestyle?
We're all freestyling. We all freestyled tonight. Nothing was pre-recorded or anything. And some DJs too go mad crazy with like live performance. Like they'll do more. They'll bring their raw sounds and their DAWs live and push it on a pad or have a live MIDI on board and play piano on keys and stuff like that.
Is a digital audio workstation, so Ableton. Yeah. So they'll bring their production like setup, and they'll put it into a device that they can like produce music in real time. So we're playing pre-recorded music and we're manipulating it kind of like a composer would at a symphony, but they're creating a set like electronic sounds in real time. That's one of the things that like makes remixes nice, is because a lot of songs aren't like 4/4. Or like hip hop songs, they're like they start on the offbeat or there's like a breath. So having remixes made ahead of time can make it easier to freestyle.
Oh, I don't make remixes ahead of time.
That was damn girl. Okay, I don't either, but I just assumed that was so clean that I don't make remixes either. If I find them,
that was all just song to song mixing.
I think the possibilities are really endless though with DJing and like performing live. Like it's such a beautiful thing that women definitely should be part of more.
Yeah.
All right, so I may be kind of slow or maybe a little mentally challenged. No, because one of my questions was, what is EDM? But I think you just answered it.
I can give you a little something. So EDM now is kind of like an umbrella term for any sort of music that was basically played like in that vinyl style or with this kind of equipment. But there's also artists who are producers who use live instruments during their set, like Grizz, Odessa, Alice in Wonderland did her entire album with all women instrumentalists, like violins, everything that was live. So it's kind of expanded because it really relies on what can the production in the stage accommodate. People start hiring DJs more because really all we have to travel with is like a laptop and our USB. We don't have to bring like a bunch of band equipment, which is nice because I've toured and it's a pain. And I don't know, it's like you have basically the world at your fingertips as an EDM. There's this like website that I'll have to get for you. It's like has a flow chart of all the different subgenres because like there's new subgenres coming out like every 3 years. Basically, a genre that's like different is considered progressive or experimental until enough people are doing it that they can give it a name. But there's also genres from Europe, like the UK. Like UK dubstep is different.
Russia goes insane. They get nasty in Russia.
Yeah. Israel rhythm is like really intense.
They're insane there too.
Yeah. Stockholm house. Detroit is a techno city, but Chicago's a house city. There's so many different variations to the point that like when I play, like I can't name the genre most of the time. A lot of times people will try to guess it by BPM. That's not always easy, but it's like a place to start. So
and BPM is beast from yeah.
I feel like like what you're saying, BPM doesn't really like dictate what the song is genre-wise. I feel like it's more the feeling and the components inside the song itself.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh, what BPM do you produce? And I'm like all over. It just really depends on my pace that day, to be honest.
Exactly. And that's another thing is some producers kind of prioritize playing in a certain BPM because they want a certain genre, like a certain DJ genre to play it. So if like you're gonna play house music, what's like 130? Like if you're making techno techno house, like you want to do a 128 BPM. If you're doing like deep dub, that's gonna be 140, maybe 130. Trap with like in hybrid, that's 70 usually. Most hip hop exists like in from 70 to 100. So I can understand how they can like put genres in BPMs, but the reason they're doing that is because it's really hard to describe music that like doesn't have any words, has instruments that are basically sounds that don't exist in real life. Like if I forget what a song's name is and I like try to do some of the like vocal samples and I'm like, like and then I'm just like I have no idea what you're talking about. But as soon as I find the song, they're like, oh yeah, that one, I get that. It's like like what is, can you sing along to this song? Womp womp womp. That's like those are the lyrics. It's really hard to communicate as even audience members. Like people start coming out with lingo for the way songs feel. So like wook wubs, that's like I can only describe it as like noodly music. And then exactly.
I can imagine.
Like if you like the Bernie dance, like people just do the Bernie dance the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And there's all different kinds of. It's so difficult because it's not like it's not taught in schools. There's not lesson plans built around it. I don't know if there ever can. Okay, tell me.
Berkeley has some really nice lessons. I actually took some of their online courses, and it's pretty legit. So, like, if you ever want to learn about electronic music production, Berkeley Online, hit it up.
Okay, yeah.
It's really affordable, too. They'll let you take one class at a time.
That's one thing is you can also buy, like, lessons from existing producers.
Yeah, that's really dope, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the EDM industry, like, even people who play EDC, they still have part-time jobs. So like they're trying to make money any way they can. Talk about where you work and like what you see there.
Oh, I work at Guitar Center, so I learn all kinds of music stuff every single day. also get cables really cheap.
And then you also do for the intersection.
Yeah, I do visuals for the intersection as well. I've done that for 8 years, and that honestly was what got me into DJing because I love using the controller. It's super fluent.
They're fucking sick at it. I request them every single time if I have the opportunity to have them run visuals.
Yeah. That's another thing. You're really good at stage presence because like you have like the vocal and you make YouTube videos and stuff. But they rely on like visuals and stuff because it's just one person up there, and sometimes we're so busy that like our heads are down and like we can't even think about dancing because like something's happening. And
What is your day job? We should go to.
I'm not allowed to say that in front of TV. No, I work at a financial firm. It's definitely not what I want to do for the rest of my life, but I can afford to pay for Ableton and other things. Yeah.
You have to have many hustles.
Talk about how long you've been. How did you get started? Because you actually never told me.
So I actually got started a little bit before I met you guys, and my buddy just had like a little tractor controller, and he was like, I don't know how to use this, but if you want to figure it out, go for it. And so he's like spent the weekend just fucking around with that, and I'm so sorry. I'm a potty mouth, I really am. Just messing around with that, and like figuring out how to get music. Back then it was a little bit different. Like we didn't really have money for Bandcamp and things like that, so we would rip most of our music.
Or you ask other people to give it to you.
Or we ask other people to give it to us, but like I didn't really have a lot of friends that were into the scene at that time, so we just really didn't know much. So we were just SoundCloud downloader and just like winging it, off like a little guitar amp.
Yeah,
like, that was like all we had. But we'd play like little house shows and people would get down with it, and it was like, okay, maybe I like this. Like,
I think the biggest thing that helped us is our local scene, they have basically an open mic night for DJs, but why I like it so much is that there's no gatekeeping. You can sign up even if you've never played, and you get a chance to play like a half hour to a 45-minute set. Yeah. That's how I got started, and you get in front of an audience. It's a Monday night. It's really low key, but the more you play with other people, the more people you meet, the better you get. It's super community based.
Yeah. That's how I met all you guys. It's honestly through music. I wouldn't have you guys as friends if it wasn't like that.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Like I feel like
you wouldn't be friends with me if it wasn't.
I mean,
for Bass Grrl.
if I met you, I'd be like, you want to glue moss to shit with me?
Yeah.
I met her too through music, and I watched her grow, and it's been amazing watching her journey.
We've known each other for 5 ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing. We all live in different cities, and it's hard to like go to all of each other's shows. And I really appreciate I want to do more Bass Grrl shows because we don't all get together very often.
So, all right, this is my last 2 questions. It got to be quick.
Any question.
It got to be quick.
Okay.
All right. What is Bass Grrl?
Bass Grrl is a movement led to music, but it's a feminine space where we can show up as a presence and let people know that we do need more women. Like, this is what we can do. We're not just the girl on the lineup. We have DJ names.
We can hold our own.
Yeah. That's one thing is sometimes like you'll get up and people think that you don't know how to use your equipment.
And do y'all want to shout out y'all cities lastly?
Oh, yeah.
Battle Creek, Michigan.
Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Muskegon, Michigan.
All right, y'all. I'm Robert D. Williams, and this is Culture Chronicles. We're at Unruly downtown Muskegon, and we're at the unbirthday party where Bass Grrl was featured. They did their thing. They had a long interview, but it was nice. And we out. We'll catch y'all on the next one.
Bye.